Good morning. Thanks for joining us again. And I'm going to borrow some words from my good friend Max Lucado. I have read all of his books, and I know that he must have read all of mine. It took him far less time. So what do you do to get encouraged? I know you watch the late night news. No, I don't think you probably do that. I went into the health club the other day, and it was a crazy day. And I was trying to follow some sports earlier in the day, and they had all this other stuff that was in sports. Now, the other stuff's important, but I wanted to cover sports, not all the other stuff. So anyway, I walk into the health club that day, and TV's blaring, and it's the news. And I mean, it was blaring. Normally, they just have it on. And so I walked through, and I got my temperature taken. And then if I want to get on an elliptical and watch the TV in there, I can't touch a remote, not for like 16 months there or whatever it is. It's like they've got to change the channel. And I said, could you put the game on? I forget which game it was. And the woman behind the counter, she's like, yes, I want to put the game on. I'm so tired of the news. And then I heard that it was a Sox game, when they were out east. And so then she changed the TV in the lobby area as well. Yeah, it's like, so as Max puts it, downtown streets darkened with anger and hate, innocents trafficked, innocents lost, homeless, jobless, pandemic and dread, a society worn out, worked up, and wondering what comes next. Yeah, and then we start thinking about kids and grandkids, and it's just not a fun deal, right? And then sometimes we just think, wait a minute, is this world out of control? Are we on a train and the engineer has jumped off and there's a cliff coming up and we don't know it? And then he said he found hope in reading the Bible. That's a good thing for preachers to say, and I agree with that. But he found it in a strange place. It's the first chapter of Matthew, which I liked his observation as a writer. He said it's a genealogy, and he said as a writer that would never get past an editor. They'd never let you start with blah 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 begat so and so blah blah blah. I mean, it's like a Sominex tablet. It'll put you to sleep. But he points out some good things in there. That you read over the list of the people, because it starts way back and it ends up with Jesus being born. And so who's in between? Well, the truth of the matter is there's a whole lot of bad news between the time that Jesus was promised and the time that Jesus showed up, which tells us that even when we think everything's really wrong, that maybe God's still in control, that maybe God's still sovereign and God still has a plan. So the list begins with Abraham, who is the father of a nation, but he more than once lied like Pinocchio just to save his own skin. And then Abraham's grandson Jacob, who was slicker than a Las Vegas card shark, he cheated his brother, lied to his father, got swindled, and then swindled his uncle. The only thing I'll say about Jacob is he started out better he ended better than he started. And then you've got Rahab in there, you've got Bathsheba in there, you've got Ruth in there, who is an outsider, which I just think is really cool. But why did God use these people? He could have just dropped Jesus off, just like, Jesus, you're here. Forget all of these people, because they're kind of screw-ups, they're kind of mess-ups. Well, I think it's because he knew that we would watch the evening news. And we would see stuff on there and we'd be worried. But if we look back over the history of the Bible, we realize that God was working out a plan, and he's still working out a plan. And nothing can stop it. There's all kinds of stuff that's not good, but so Old Covenant, famine couldn't starve it. 400 years of slavery couldn't oppress it. Wilderness wanderings, well, they couldn't lose it. And Babylonian captivity couldn't stop the promise. Clay-footed pilgrims couldn't spoil it. The promise of the Messiah came through 42 generations, and it got here. And the promises that God has made for the new covenant, they're going to get here as well. Those people who kept the faith until the end will be saved. Those are the words of Jesus. In this world you will have trouble, but be brave. I have defeated the world. Those are the words of Jesus. So, God keeps his promises. God keeps all of his promises. See for yourself. In the manger, he's there. And then see in the tomb, he's not there. He's there and here. God bless you. Have a great day.